You should be on. You should be on. Should be on Cali's best radio show with Lady Impress. You should be on. Monday through Sunday, I flow through that sound. Baby be tripping like, would you come home? You know I'm talking about Cali's best radio show. And not that off. You should be on. You should be on. You should be on. Alright, man, you should be on with Lady Impress. Cali's bad. You should be on.
So, Vinstigator, you were here with us during the Blaze in LA reunion show and performed,
Yes.
and we decided that you needed to come back and have your own spotlight interview, so because you have so much going on. Go ahead and remind the listeners and tell our new listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Vince Chavez, also known as Vinstigator, born and raised in LA. I've been doing music since 2003, and since then I've met like a lot of cool people. There's this guy named Teddy Graham who's one of the best beat makers out there. He's producing my album. It's called the Vinstigator EP. It's going to be an EP, and then eventually I'm going to release the LP, which is going to be like 17, 18 tracks.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. So this is not your debut project, is it?
Actually, yeah, it's going to be, because I've just been releasing singles. Like the one I performed was On My Mind, which is one of my more popular singles. Everywhere I release it, it gets like 10,000 views. The ringtone got like 1,000 downloads. So, you know, I just been doing singles, but then I decided to finally put out a project, you know.
All right.
I've just been in the studio making track after track. Like I said, Teddy Grant just been sending me beats, you know.
So I would imagine if you started in 2003 and this is 15 years later, you have a whole catalog of.
Well, you know,
somewhere.
it's funny because when I started in 2003, oh man, it like I wouldn't even be able to listen to my stuff in 2003 because I didn't know nothing about flow. I didn't know nothing about delivery. I just thought you get on the mic and spit. You know what I mean? So like it took that long to perfect my craft. Now I got my flow. Like as you heard, everybody liked my flow. Is on point. That's one of my main highlights. So yeah, you know, I don't think it took 15 years. I think back in 2010 because I actually did On My Mind in 2010.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, but it's new to the public because they haven't, you know.
Right. Did you have to update it any?
You know, it's funny you say that because before I was going to put it out, I wanted to update it. I wanted to update it with like, you know, my current flow that I have, my swag, you know. But somebody had said, I don't know if it was Snoop Dogg or whatever, but they were like, it's good to have songs with different styles, so that way they don't put you in a box. Like that way, if they hear On My Mind and they hear Don't Really Want to Know, it's like they're different flow, different style. But if I do that style with On My Mind, like update, I feel that people aren't going to let me do anything different. You know, they're just going to expect me to have the same flow. I won't be able to, you know, change it up, whatever, without people complaining, because that's happened to artists.
All right, really?
Yeah.
Well, so do you think, though, that if you come out with a flow that people like a Drake, and your flow is the same, like Drake's flow is the same?
Yeah, see, like Drake, he's got some really good songs, but like on his new album, I feel a lot of his flow is the same, but that's his style, you know. If he tries to change it up, people are like, what the hell, I want that Kiki, you know. Do you love me? Are you right? You know, like, so I don't want to be put in that box. Like on the album, I'm gonna have songs where I'm kind of like semi-singing, kind of. I have one that I'm like, the flow's kind of like On My Mind, you know. I just try to switch it up so there's something for everybody.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that was going to be my next question is like, what is the inspiration for, you know, usually what you do? What is your creative process?
Oh, my inspiration is like all the great pioneers of hip hop, like Tupac. That's like my idol. That's the one. He's the one that inspired me to, you know, really write, because I was listening to him when I was in, you know, California Love was blowing up the radio. You know, and I just loved his lyrics, his flow, his delivery, everything, you know. Snoop, Dre, Death Row. So that kind of inspired me to, you know, because right now it's what, the South, or it's these new artists that, like you said, Offset.
Trap.
Yeah, you know. So I kind of want to bring back that old West Coast vibe, you know, with the beats and the flow, the lyrics.
You know, I hear that a lot from the artists that come through here, but my question is, I mean, we grew up on that because we're here. You know, that was the same artist that I listened to when I was younger, and still do a little bit, but they're not really popping worldwide.
Yeah, and you know what? It's kind of like I was talking to my girl about that. Like Eminem, he's one of the best lyricists in the world, and when he released that Revival, people crapped on it. You know, like they wanted that Tekashi flow, they wanted that panda, you know, and I felt bad for him because it's like he's putting his heart and soul, and then that's why he released that Kamikaze, because he was like, oh, you guys are gonna crap on this album when I put my heart and soul into it. And then he kind of like had to, you know, do that same flow, like, oh, you know, I don't want to do this type of flow, but I got to do, you know, like making fun of calling out the artist. Right. So I feel his frustration, and you're right, they're not popping. Like Snoop isn't as popping as he was. I know Cube is releasing a record, but I doubt that's gonna hit the, you know. Well,
that's gonna blow to a certain extent because it's about Trump. That record,
okay,
yeah. So that'll get some spins.
Well, it's already got the haters, man.
Yeah, but going back to what you're saying about Eminem, so his album did really well, though, right?
Yeah, it really did. I'm glad. But his last one, Revival, it was one of his worst selling albums, and he was really crushed over it. That's why he did an interview. He said if it wasn't for Revival and the people putting it down saying it was the worst album they ever heard, he would have never released Kamikaze. So that was his inspiration, and he's my inspiration. He's like my second favorite behind Tupac. Him and, you know, they're my top two. So I feel his frustration because, I mean, I thought Revival was pretty good. I liked Walk on Water, but people were saying, oh, it's the worst song I've ever heard, this and that. But what are they listening to now? Like, what's out now? You know?
Everybody has their own opinions about it, but, you know, he's one of the legends and greats, and I know that the album still did probably, I don't know. I
think it was like, it hasn't gone platinum.
It's not platinum, but
yeah, I think it's like, it's at 400K. Yeah. But for him, he's like, what, me selling 1 million is a failure, you know?
Wow. Okay, then.
Yeah.
What about for you? What are your goals as far as selling?
I mean, my goals is to just reach people, you know, like with my lyrics. You know, I mean, the sales are cool and everything, because if you look on like my Spotify, I've got thousands of plays. I've got, you know, I've made some money off of it, but my main goal is to just make music, good music, you know, because right now we need that. I know you said like a lot of West Coast artists say that, but a lot of them are also top. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if there's this guy named Slink Johnson who has his own TV show. He used to be a hip hop artist. He's actually gonna work with me on my album. You know, he's gonna come down to my studio. He's gonna drop a verse. He's gonna do some skits in his Grand Theft Auto 5 character, Lamar Davis. So yeah, we got some plans. You know?
Nice. Well, it sounds, and we'll have to get into letting the listeners know about your whole movie acting side. But I want to continue on the path of the music just for a moment. So you feel like you're putting out music for the people.
Yes.
And you want to bring back sort of the West Coast flavor, vibe. And I do hear a lot of artists saying that, and some of them have really, really good music, but it's just not what the people want to hear right now. Is the only thing.
It's kind of like, I always joke about it, like maybe I should just like go in the studio and scream or something. And maybe I'll sell like 1 million copies.
Well, you
I'm afraid that'll actually happen.
You need a gimmick. No.
Yeah, exactly. You need a gimmick.
It seems like you need a gimmick. So you had mentioned the Tekashi earlier. So what are your thoughts on Tekashi?
Man, you know what? I've heard his songs, and some of them I'm like, wow, how did that even, you know, like number one, like that, what was that, the Fifi got that? Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't bump that in the car, man, like, turn this off. But, I you know, right now he's in jail for doing stupid stuff, whatever, but his album is, number one, so that should tell you something. And people, I think somebody was trying to compare him to Pac, whatever, and then like, this caused like the whole uproar, like, no, you don't put them in the same sentence, that's sacrilege. No, you don't do that. But no, I don't. As a person, I mean, he's making his money, man. Like, congrats to him, man. You know, like, hey.
Yeah, but he might be in jail now for a very, very long time.
Yeah, well, at least he'll have money for his books, you know. with that album, you know.
That's a positive. On a positive note, he'll have a lot of money on his for his commissary.
He'll be able to buy like a little flat screen, you know. He'll be all right.
All right, so Vinstigator, so you how would you though describe the vibe of your entire project that you have coming out, and then again mention the name of it for our listeners?
Okay, the name of the project is called the Vinstigator EP. And the vibe of it is kind of like each song. I want to take you through different emotions. Like there's one song, you know, I did. It's like a love song, you know, and for the people in love, they can feel that. Then there's one where I talk about, you know, almost dying. You know, like all my stuff I write is everything I write.
Did that happen?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a few times actually. Shot at, you know, almost killed by a drunk driver. Like just so many things. So I write all that. So when you hear it, you know, you can feel it, you know. So, and then I also have one about heartbreak where my ex really did me like really bad.
Oh no.
And it's with my homie Legend. Shout out to Legend from New York. He did a verse on that, and I did a verse, and it's talking about our exes, how they really like really messed us up. And guess who's doing the beat? Mr. Coolman, who's produced for Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dolla $ign, Kendrick Lamar, and others. So I bought the beat off of him, and you know, it's ours.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so when do you expect your EP is going to be public?
Well, it's already pretty much ready for distribution, but I'm a perfectionist, so I kind of want to go back to see what songs I'm going to keep. You know, I might do a couple more, throw them on there. There's one where it's like a love-hate song about a girl saying like how I don't want her to change even though she's crazy. It's kind of one of those things like I keep taking you back, you know, like.
Oh, so that happens to all of us.
It's called Never Change.
Oh, we're going to be able to relate to
you're
that.
You're going to love it, yeah, because each song is going to be different, like, you know. So, yeah, it's going to have that vibe, you know.
So the song that I have here tonight that we're going to be playing for our listeners is called Don't Really Wanna Know. Is that going to be on that project?
Yes, that's actually one of the featured tracks on the album, and it features Magic Mike Z, who is also the singer for On My Mind.
Oh, okay.
So this was our second collaboration together.
Nice, nice. All right. So I think we'll go ahead and get this queued up for our listeners. And anything you want to tell us about this track before we hear it?
This actually happened. Like I talk about, you know, where I almost died or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I was coming home one night from work, and then all of a sudden, drunk driver just barely missed me, and you know, I would have ended up dead because the cars were like totaled.
Oh my.
And so I write about that. I write about like how one of the girls did me wrong and really messed with me, but you know, hey, I turn every negative into a positive, so I just turn them into songs.
That's awesome.
You know,
that's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to this. This is Vinstigator featuring Magic Mike, and the song is Don't Really Wanna Know.
This life has in store for me, I never wanna know. I don't really wanna know what this life has in store for me, I never wanna know.
Started back in 95, we was on the grind. The good old days, man, when Pac was alive. I sit and reminisce, thinking about the times, like how to come to this, why'd he have to die, Then I think about the girls who did me wrong. So I sit here and write another song. Think about the times they be messing with my head, and think about the times that they came up to me and said,
Listen, man, I like your style. Got a nice flow, let's chill a while. I'm loving that car, it's soft and nice. I love you, babe.
Then I think about the time I almost died, almost got hit and flashed before my eyes. Think about the pain and struggles all up in my life. I never wanna know, and I never wanna die, so
I don't really wanna know what this life has in store for me, I never wanna know. I don't really wanna know what this life has in store for me, I never wanna know. I don't really wanna know what this life has in store for me, I never wanna know. I
that was Vinstigator and Magic Mike, Don't Really Wanna Know, off of the upcoming EP, the Vinstigator EP, no less. Yep. Self-titled. All right. So you work with the gentleman you said who usually, does the beats and is
Teddy Graham.
What is his name?
Teddy Graham.
Teddy Graham. And so what's your outside of that, what's your team like? I mean, how does someone get to this point? How did you get to this point? Like, do you have management? Do you have publicists? Are you
a lot of people ask me that. Actually pretty much everything is done by me, my girl, and my producers. Like when I did the music video, she actually filmed it in Manhattan Beach. I did all the editing, and then, like I said, I have Teddy Graham making me beats. I have other producers I work with too, but yeah, pretty much it's all me and her.
Wow.
Yeah, I manage my own label, Vinstigator Music. Like when you go like on Amazon, Spotify, and all that, it'll say copyright Vinstigator Music.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you gotta have that.
Yeah, I have my
the legalities.
Oh yeah, and then I actually have my songs registered. So like if you when they put this video up, it's gonna say "Don't Really Want to Know," and it's gonna give you a little copyright claim. Just a little heads up. You're good though. You got permission.
No, but you know what? They're gonna take it down though.
Oh, they will? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, because
or they muted
the on my mind. It actually registered and it's still up. Like
really?
Yeah. It's all good. You guys
I run into that a lot.
Yeah, I think that's more on Facebook where they're more strict.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so but I get those royalties, so it's all good. So go ahead. No, don't take it down. NBC, you have my permission.
Keep playing it. Keep hitting
Give me those checks.
Hitting the play button.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what's your marketing strategy for getting your EP out there?
Marketing strategy is just keep hustling, keep traveling, like when I'm on my movie sets and stuff, just spreading the word, like I said, I met with like celebrities like Slink Johnson who gives me shout outs, and those videos get like a couple thousand views easily, Like
nice.
my cosign and everything. So and even Too Short actually liked my On My Mind, which was pretty cool because I didn't even tag him. I wasn't following him or anything, so he just
oh wow
yeah,
awesome.
That was like a little highlight right there too. Too Short, man. He's the only one featured on Cube's new album.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's still awesome. I like him. I
saw that interview you did with him.
Too Short?
Yeah.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did interview Too Short. I've interviewed so many people.
You're like,
I'm like, oh, did I interview Too Short? Yes, I did.
I did.
Awesome. All right, let me this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna come back and talk some more with Vinstigator. So we talked about your music quite a bit, but I did want to also talk about your acting career. Now, which came first?
Well, the music came first. The acting I didn't start until like a couple years ago.
So how did you just get started in acting like that?
Well, a lot of people don't know, but my uncle was actually an actor. He was in Jurassic Park. He played what was it, the guy that killed Scarface?
Okay.
The Skull. That's my uncle. So it kind of runs in the family, So I was like, hey, let me get in it,
All right.
So yeah, just a lot of persistence, a lot of emails, a lot of calls. Like, man, took months to even get my first gig, and I was just constant.
So, but what did you do? What were like the first
the
steps so that if somebody out there is like, oh, I want to try and do that.
Just checking on casting agencies, and then I found a couple and I emailed them, like they said, I'll submit your headshots, this and that. So, I did all that, never got a response. I did that for like 2 months. It was for an Adam Sandler movie, but I was like, no, I'm not going to give up. So on their Facebook, they said, we need to book people for, a scene tomorrow. So I said, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you guys. He goes, oh, can you come tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. But then they didn't get back to me again. But I'm like, no, I came this far. So I emailed the girl, her name was Mo, and she actually got me booked for several scenes.
Wow.
Even a union voucher, which if you get 3 of those, you're eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild. So I already have one of those under my belt. There's people that have been acting for years that don't even have one.
Really?
So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so what movies have you been in that we may have heard of?
Well, one of my more popular ones right now is Sandy Wexler. It's the one with Adam Sandler and Terry Crews. You can see me in it like around the 17-minute mark. I play prison guard, and that's actually my union voucher. So you can see me really good on camera throughout the scene. And that scene alone, I got paid like $400.
Really?
And we just filmed the same scene for 10 hours.
And did you actually have a speaking part?
I don't have a speaking part yet, but that's what we're getting to. That's
well, honey, I can go stand on a set and make $400. I can do that.
Right?
I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah.
You just turned me on to something.
No. Yeah. But you know what? If I get those 2 more vouchers, I actually they emailed me, and this was actually a speaking role, where it said we want you for a featured role, but I had missed the email because I had got a new phone. So when I checked my email, it was already like 2 weeks had passed, and it was with that casting. It was going to be a union
same
voucher.
Lady?
No, it was a different lady, but the same company.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually going to be a very featured role, speaking, union.
Oh my God.
So I was kicking myself over that. But my girl said, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. You know, there's going to be other opportunities out there. You know, and it's not like I remember like last couple months ago, I was about to boot up my PlayStation and go to sleep after. And when I got an email saying, hey, can you come for a role? We'll pay you $100. You just be here for an hour. And I was like, okay.
I need some of that. I'm going to go look into that.
Yeah.
For real.
And you know what? A lot of people, they give up on it because they think you just email and you get, no, it's like you got to actually follow up. You got to talk with them on the phone. Like there's this one agency where I've been trying to get in for a year. You can only apply once every 3 months. But, you know, they're always full because they keep a certain amount of people because they give them really good roles. And so it's already been like almost a year and I haven't been able to get in it. But they say like, oh, we see that you keep calling. So, you know, that's a good sign. And, you know, so I'm just going to keep on it.
It's that same doggedness that I see on your social media. Remember, because when you were here before and I was talking to some of the other guys, you're the only one that's
on my social media. Oh, yeah.
Following up on their social media.
my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, yeah.
Nice. So which one is the passion for the most? Acting?
You know, there's times when I feel the acting is my passion. But then there's times when I get in the studio, it's like I feel the music is. And I know they go hand in hand. So that kind of works in my favor. You know, actually, I had one movie. It was an independent movie. It wasn't a really big movie. But they actually hit me up to use songs for the movie. So I gave them permission.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that you get some publishing from that too?
Yeah. You know, like I said, my songs are registered. So I get all the stats. I get all the... Oh, and it's funny because I just uploaded the ringtone of my song like a few months ago, and it's already got like 4,000 views. Wow. And I don't know where the hell the views are coming from. It's like that specific song. I don't know why. Like people are just drawn to it, you know? So I just... Nice.
Does it allow you to like add tags? Maybe is that how people are finding it?
No, well, there's videos where I put like a grip load of tags and they get like a few hundred views. And then there's some where like, when I did the Michael Jackson movie, I met the Michael Jackson impersonator and we did a video together. It was like 10 seconds long and I got like 3,000 views.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
It's like,
cool,
I don't know. I don't know, you know. And the Slink Johnson, actually I met him through the acting. We were on set and for Black Jesus and I met him and then we started talking like about doing music together. So he's like, yeah, hit me up, you know, on Instagram. I'm going to come down. I'm going to drop a verse for you. I'm going to do some skits, you know?
Nice. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I love it. You know, like just...
No matter what, hopefully, it, you know, no matter whether you get blow up, get big, or you just stay local, whatever, just make sure you're always having fun.
And you know, I actually recently got registered as a musical artist on Google. Like for years, I would always search my name and it was like, do you mean Instigator? And now actually when you search Vinstigator, it actually shows my songs. It shows like my videos. It has me labeled like, you know, when you search for Eminem. So yeah.
That's through like your distribution.
I don't know. I think it's just a combination of, because there's some people that are actually probably like getting up there, you know, and I searched for them and they're still not registered. So I was kind of like,
You doing something. You're doing something right.
Yeah. I'm doing something right.
That's right. Go ahead and let our listeners know where they can fan and follow you at and any shout outs that you may want to give.
Okay, you can follow me on Vinstigator on every social media platform. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's all Vinstigator. Vinstigator. Shout out, I want to thank my girl Maria. She's been down with me since day one. Without her, I wouldn't have got some of my movie roles. Like, she pushed me to, continue. And same with my album too. She's like my rock.
There's always a good woman.
She's listening right now too in the car.
Hey.
Yeah, and I want to give a big shout out to Teddy Graham. Go check him out on YouTube. Teddy Graham Beats. He makes most of my songs, and he's a really good, he makes most of my hits.
I like that.
Yeah, and then shout out to Legend, man. I've known him for 10 years. He's very underrated musical artist, and I actually have 2 songs with him on my upcoming album. And actually Teddy Graham produced one of the beats, and Mr. Koolman, the one that produced for Wiz Khalifa, Kendrick Lamar, he produced the other one.
Nice.
So yeah, shout out to them. And yeah.
All right, sounds good. So you guys be sure and follow Vinstigator all across social media, and be on the lookout for. He also has a website, by the way.
Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
Keep forgetting I have a website. Vinstigatormusic.com. You go on there and you'll be able to, stream, download, like wherever. Like if you have an iPhone, you'll be able to get it on iTunes. If you have Google Play, Android, you get it on whatever site. I'm on there.
It's available on
everywhere,
all
worldwide,
digital outlets,
even in different countries.
I appreciate you stopping by again here at Cali's Best Radio Show, Vinstigator, and you've been a delight. And thank you once again.
Same with you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
And keep listening, because I know you say you're listening on your way home from work sometimes. So
yes.
I definitely appreciate
that.
Oh
yeah, every week. I always listen. That's how I know about some of the stuff you have going on. You're like, wait.
Appreciate that. He's my fan. I'm his fan. It's all good.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to run into a musical break right now. Thank you so much.
Fast forward to the present. Thought I'd change, but deep down inside, man, I'm still deranged. But it lies dormant, comes out when I'm threatened. But when it does, motherfuckers better get to stepping. There's been times when I almost killed a man, choking out motherfuckers with my own 2 bare hands. Now with the weapon, you better plead for your life, cause when I'm in the state, someone's gonna die. Yeah, I'm that type of crazy. I ain't proud of my past, and my future's looking hazy. I'm always prepared, and when I start a scuffle, please believe I never leave home without my knuckles. I'm like John Wick, tried to stay retired, but motherfuckers won't let me, so now I'm hired. Fulfilling markers until the day I die. Couldn't leave this lifestyle, even if I tried.